Alright, we're on. And it's on the small line.
Hello.
It's all loud.
You're going to have to tell them the two lies and a truth now.
Wow, that was great. Thank you. I really had no idea what to guess.
Alright, we should be.
So we are live.
I'm checking every single cable. I'm double checking every connection. And I just haven't looked down. I'm like, why is it on 0?
See, I wouldn't have changed that. I think it's probably bumped in the box.
You put it in the case, yeah, and it never moves. It's like perfect plug and play.
This song sounds like female.
This is... are we playing songs that sound like other songs completely?
We're playing Who to Sue next.
The Keith song.
Oh, that's right.
It does sound a bit like that, actually. My goodness.
Nothing's original.
No, well, as Jason says, there's 12 chords. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So,
Just give me a second. I'm going to switch channels.
we're going to switch channels to 4 channels.
There we go. I'm like, well, I can only hear myself in my left ear.
Okay. So now we're
change
right?
that as well.
Okay.
Your fault, everything.
Facebook Live, we are very sorry for the issues we had with sound earlier. Apparently it's my fault. I'll take the blame, whatever.
But you know, we have very...
I'm not the radio school trained person. So.
We have very good fans that love to inform us when stuff goes wrong. So shout out to the Birdman, to James.
Birdman too. Can't hear you, idiots.
Jace Lansky as well. Jace didn't say anything at first, but then he's like, no, MJ, you got to fix something.
Well, what I can say is that what people missed was, we'll recap this, what people missed was...
Jace just said, there you are.
Was the
Good, MJ.
2 Lies and a Truth. And what we'll do, because we've got a few minutes while radio is going on, and of course the radio people have already heard this. So we'll get Kristy, just to recap, the 3 things that you told us that we had to guess which one was real and the other 2 were fakes.
Alright, so, first one. When I turned 21, me and my best friend Teresa went on a Kentucky tour in Europe.
Kentucky tour, a lot of people do that, so yeah, I thought that could have been real. Second one?
Second one was... I have only ever kissed 4 guys in my entire life.
I only kissed 4 guys. That threw me. I thought, nah, that can't be true. So I discounted that straight away. And the third thing?
I will be heading to Bali for my 6th time at the end of September.
6th trip to Bali at the end of September. A lot of people go to Bali. They love it. And I know a lot of Australian writers go there. Songwriters have, a trip to Bali to just chill out and relax and write. So I thought that could have been real. So I think my first guess was the real thing was the Kentucky trip, and you said no, didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
So then I thought 50-50 chance. So I then guessed Bali. I thought you were going to Bali. You told me you're not going to Bali. Your son's going to Bali. You hate Bali.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've never been there. I'm scared of Bali.
But you're scared. You don't like the idea of Bali.
I don't like the idea of Bali.
Okay, gotcha.
No.
Which left the truth being that you kissed 4 guys. So I just totally did not think that was the case. So that is
Neither
amazing.
did my husband when I told him.
He was sitting in the
corner
going...
3 before I met him.
I was going to say, should we check to make sure that he was number 4?
That's right. Let me see. He was second, and then...
He didn't leave me for a long time. Long time. Yeah.
Well, no, that's a fantastic story, and it totally threw us. MJ, we never guessed the right story. We
No.
never throw us for a spin.
If it makes you feel any better, Luke did say, yeah, I'd probably believe the Kentucky one.
Well, a lot of people do that. Did that. Is it still even a thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is it? Wow.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's as big as one.
It was kind of the hookup thing. It was either a Kentucky tour or a trip on the Fair Star cruise ship. That was the hookup thing that people did. So.
Joining us in the comments so far on Facebook Live, we have Jace Lansky. He's back. He can hear audio now. The Birdman, one of our favourite followers, is back as well.
Cody.
He said, yeah. Audio, MJ.
It helps. Watching a Facebook video with no audio would be so stupid. People would have lasted 1 second and go, well, this is dumb.
James Baker of Baker Productions, who
JB.
does this for a living. He's messaging me trying to help me out.
Was
And
he
I'm
going,
like, that's all
check
good.
the fader, check the fader.
No. I just realised my own mistake. And then, of course, Tracy Twinkletoes is back from last week. Twinkletoes Stains.
Yes.
She says, hello, everyone. How are we all this evening? I am stressed but relaxed now after the little mix-up with the mix-up.
We should also add that it was a very stressful day because we got here just with a couple of minutes to spare because I actually had the wrong tripod. We had to go and change it.
I was on time.
So
guess who come the furthest?
A live demonstration. The good tripod. The bad tripod.
What have you knocked over now?
That's the power bank keeping the phone alive.
Okay, and you're probably
Did I knock the audio?
I think you're facing at me and no one wants to look at me, so can you reposition?
Everyone asking the questions on me.
That's right.
Well, no. There we go.
Gotcha, okay. Going to air at the moment is Lenko, Born to Love You. I love Lenko.
Got another message and now I'm freaking out.
People are saying we can't hear or something. Or now they can hear us and they can't see us. That's even worse. That's just like radio. Wait a minute, we are on radio. That's good.
That's James messaging me saying, this is my mate, he does audio. I'm like, I fixed the problem, James.
It's all good.
I know what I'm doing. Thank you.
All good.
That's exactly right. And the reason we do all this audio is so that people watching on Facebook Live can hear what's going on while the radio's going to air, because we can't play the music because of copyright.
I have to remember that.
And then we switch back, and then people hear us through the proper mics, and it sounds better when you play live and whatnot. So
I better say nice things.
say nice things. As we say, don't swear, but you could swear on Facebook. I don't know. Does Facebook chuck you off if you swear?
I actually had
Would they know?
I had a New Year's resolution to not swear this year.
How's it going? 6 months in?
Well, it was
7
going
months
really well five months in, and it's starting to dwindle a little bit.
Then you had a really shit day and it went
I
downhill.
But it was seriously getting so bad. Every second word, I'm like, I can't talk like that. So that was my New Year's resolution. It's going better.
People, and a lot of people in America do this, they switch a word and it's not as bad a word, but you know what they're really meaning to say.
Yeah.
And then I think, is that kind of like a nicotine patch or something? Is that kind of like, you're not really solving the problem, you're just shifting the liquid?
My favourite word was the C one, and that's just a terrible word. So I just cut that straight
there's
out.
There's no substitute for that one, I don't think. So, it's, dang it isn't the same.
Dang.
Dang. So, what we're going to do, you should grab your guitar because we're going to hear you play.
I'll take these off,
take them off. Are you all tuned up and ready to go?
Oh, probably not.
While we've got our Facebook listeners in, be sure to share the video around, invite all your friends, because we have one of Australia's leading country rock artists about to perform live in Kristy James. She came down from Newcastle, it's a bit of a drive, so make her feel welcome to the Planet Country community. Tracy Twinkletoes wants to know, what do we all think of the Shannon Knoll footage? Well, we're going to talk about that real soon on the show. We've got the full recording, bleeped of course.
We need to go on air. Sorry, you're not going to play straight away, but soon.
I won't tune while you're on air.
.9 FM. So wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. You may also be watching on Facebook Live, and for those people on Facebook Live, we do apologise for the audio. You were watching but not hearing for a bit there. That's been solved. So
I fixed it.
Then
blamed it on you.
If you don't want to hear us, you could always turn the volume down. So then it would be pretty pointless. Though.
We had a few seconds of buzzing, and then I realised that the cable was a bit loose. But I fixed that one now as well.
Exactly right. Our special guest artist, Kristy James, is here. But before we get you to play, she has got the guitar ready. I wanted to ask about live Facebook, because you've just seen how badly we do it. But it is something you've been doing regularly as well. Have you made a sort of concerted effort to kind of interact with the fans, particularly around the album launch?
Yeah, because I am really hopeless at that. And
it's not natural, is it?
No, but however, I don't know if you know. Recently, I spent some time filming a TV show for Channel 7, and during that time, I don't know, spending so much time with those types of people that I did made me really comfortable with Facebook Live. It was this instant switch where I went from trying to be somebody on Facebook to just being me, like that. It was the weirdest thing. So,
but I mean, as a performer, you've had to have done that on stage over the years, and kind of be yourself.
Fine, but when you're sitting in front of just your phone,
it's very weird.
It used to be really weird, but now for me it feels quite normal, which is really, really good. So I'm really thankful for that, and that's why I keep doing them, because before I would just make myself sound like an idiot. I'm like, oh shit, turn that off.
But that's what you think. People probably thought it was all cool, but you thought, what?
Luke was like, that's pretty bad, babe.
The husband is the filter.
Yeah,
actually,
he is. Yeah.
You really need to do that better. Well, we try to do it, and then sometimes the sound doesn't work, right, MJ? But you mentioned something you were doing for Channel 7. Now, I don't know what you can and can't say about it, but I know you mentioned you were part of this thing. So this is a kind of a new reality performance type show, and there's all these judges. And you're one of the judges.
I can tell you a little bit, but they are pretty strict. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a TV show coming to Channel 7. No idea when. but it is this year,
Mm-hmm.
called All Together Now, which is, sorry.
It's
Right
the mic.
It's
Can
not
you
sorry.
turn that mic?
There
It
you
keeps
go.
swinging
How
off
are you going?
the thing. Oh, it's done it again.
Okay, all right.
MJ, you'll have to get up, go around and try and fix it. This is...
I'm not a co-host, I'm a tech.
What we actually say often on this show is
There we
it's
go.
going to be one of those nights with technology. It was always like, not always, but it was often like that at our previous radio station. It looks like we've brought it with us. People at Soiree going, who invited these guys?
Sorry, Matt, Alex, and
Exactly.
Steve. And
So,
all that.
okay, back to the
All
show.
right,
Yes.
Yeah. So sometime during the year on Channel 7, there is a singing competition, which has 100 judges judging
Right.
them. So I don't know if you saw a photo, but it kind of looks like The Voice times 100 judges instead of 4. So people go in there as contestants, and the judging panel is led by our team captain was Ronan Keating.
Ah, yes.
And the host is Julia Zamero. So I was one of those judges.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and do all 100 judges, tell me if you're not allowed to answer anything I ask, but do you all have to agree? Is it like, if we don't get 100 people going yes, they don't go through or something? Because that
So
would
they've
be
got
impossible.
the UK version. If you watch the UK
Oh,
version,
okay.
it basically it's a point system.
Oh, okay.
Each
yeah,
of
yeah.
us is worth 1
Wow.
point. Yeah.
Okay. So that would have been, was it, like, would have been exciting? Was it kind of daunting to be there amongst all of these other music people and judge this thing?
No, it was great. It was we were all very kind of similar but different, you know. Like, I used to think I was out there until, you know, seriously, you can't compete. Like, God, you wait till you watch the show, but the show is going to be absolutely amazing. And
There's so much
different.
talent in Australia, though, doing all sorts of things in
oh
the
my
performing
gosh,
arts.
I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like it,
Wow.
and I'm really picky. I think everyone sucks, but seriously, I was really, really impressed.
You sit there
You've
going-
got 1 point essentially, and like, you're not getting my point. It's just 1.
But it's a bit like The Voice, where, you know, they've got 12 positions to fill, and then they get to like 10 and they go, well, I'm not turning the chair for anyone because I've only got 2 left. And it's like, you're not turning and they're really good. And they're like, oh, but I've only got 2 left. So you're like, I'm not giving my point away easy.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Press me.
Just
Yeah.
quickly, speaking of points, on social media, everyone wants us to talk about Nolsey, but we've got that coming up real
That's coming
soon.
up. Stay
coming up
tuned
soon.
for that.
Shout out to Jay Cini, who was in the studio last week as well performing. He's back. He said, good old Nolsey. So we'll have to talk about that. Kyle Carter from Tamworth, he's tuning in as well.
Hi to Kyle.
And also Joshua Dirksen from the US of A. Tuning in. as
DJ.
JD.
VDJ.
VDJ,
I always get that mixed up.
DJ, JVD.
That's right. Hi to him. He's kicking goals in Nashville.
And Sharon from Coffs Harbour's just tuned in to say hi from Coffs Harbour. Hi
that's a long
from
way away.
Blacktown in Sydney's West.
That's exactly right. I'm guessing we're colder than she is in the North Coast.
The climate control in here is pretty amazing. Kristy
It's
came in,
not
she's like,
bad.
oh, it feels so warm. And I'm like, we can't control the aircon, but it seems to work.
Oh, don't change it.
Now we are in for a treat because Kristy has a guitar in her hand. She is going to play for us
I didn't get to tune
3
it.
songs. You'll get about 20 seconds to do that because
Oh, good.
while you're
Nice.
doing that, we can do this.
Now, on Planet Country, it's time for the prestigious Song of the Week.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. You turned my
Benson
mic off.
Man is back. I only switched it back on, so sorry about that.
You really don't like me today. It is our song of the week, though, Big
It's
Stew.
actually
That's
any
right.
day.
Now, every week MJ has to guess who has Song of the Week because normally he has no idea except for whenever there's someone sitting next to him in the studio. And I have vowed one time I'm not going to have it that person.
It'll have to be someone that
You
they
have to
can't
guess,
play or
is it,
something.
is it this week or not?
Is it? Oh, no, it's obvious. It's obvious because I've got the...
Sure.
the
He's got
notes
the
here.
notes. He's
I checked because
cheating.
Kristy was like, oh, when do I perform live? And I'm like,
But,
okay.
But he was...
Segment 10,
he was
Song of the
worried.
Week.
He was
And it
worried.
says Cinderella, performed live by Kristy James.
Absolutely, that is the
You're going to have
case.
to give
Now,
me bad notes one time.
Kristy has had 20 seconds, which is the theme length that we just played to tune up. Are we ready, or do you need some more time? Will we
that's
talk
okay.
amongst ourselves?
Do I have
That
auto-tune on
is
this thing?
probably-
No.
Ha! That is
That's a
probably
dirty word.
auto-tune.
Now,
popular.
what I will say, because Cora Norton was in a few weeks ago and she kept starting to perform with the headphones on. You don't have to have the headphones on. If you want them or don't want them, that's entirely up to you. But before you play it, tell us about the song Cinderella, because it's a fantastic song.
Thank you. I was never going to record it, actually. I took my kids to see the movie Cinderella one time. And they're like, Mom, can you write a song called Cinderella? I'm like, no. You clearly don't know what I do. That is not in the realm of what I do. But I thought, like, I kind of always write about stuff that is real. And so I thought, along with Dark Sunglasses, I kind of wrote them around the same time. I just thought, like, can I write something that is not something I really experienced? And then I thought, well, Cinderella's it's a well-known name. How can I change it and just play around with it? So it's kind of more like an experiment, but like I come up with that and it just kind of stuck with me over and over. And then we ended up really liking the song. We got one of the best guitar players in the world to play on it. And I'm like,
we did talk earlier about on the radio about you've won some songwriting awards, and they were for songs that you wrote but didn't like. You thought that's not my best work.
Yeah, not put this one forward.
So there you go. If you don't like it, I wanted to touch on the video too because I love your videos and you've done some really good ones. When I saw this one, I thought, this takes it to a new level, particularly because of the night factor and filming at night and that whole...
Did
I don't
you
know.
notice I didn't kiss him? I wasn't adding to my talent.
That's right. That could have been... I could have gone, hang on a minute, videos. How many people she kissed in the video?
Yeah,
so
0.
That's acting. That doesn't count anyway.
It does count. See, to me. Oh, jeez. That was a very, very, very difficult video to film.
Right.
I filmed it with Kristy James and her husband. And Kirsty took me aside. She's like, look, love.
She's a straight talker, isn't she?
She's like, I had to do it too.
Imagine that.
She's like, I had to do it too. Well, Kirsty and I have known each other since she was 8, 7.
Right.
She's like, I had to do it too, but you just got to bloody suck it up. Stop sulking.
Sounds like
really hard.
Well, we didn't know how hard it was for you because when you look at the finished product, it's an amazing video. It's visually, I think, one of the best Australian clips because, a lot of Australian clips, they just have a generic look, but there was something about that clip. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, I kind of feel that with pretty well every clip that I make. I don't want anything to look generic, and
Can't be store-bought.
Not off the shelf, no.
I'll take that one.
You don't want that.
No, but I did. I really do work hard on that visual stuff and pushing myself out of my comfort zones because and Cinderella isn't really a song that kind of fits in with that country rock kind of bluesy vibe. But it was just something. That's why I called the EP Raw. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that I wrote that wasn't necessarily specific to the part of the genre that I might usually be.
Yeah, it wasn't formulaic. It was this is what was happening at the time. This is how I felt. It's raw.
Yeah, and that was so that was really interesting when it come time for the clip. I'm like, oh crap.
What do we do now?
What do I do now? Yeah, but we got that dress custom made to pull apart from Racy and Lucky, which is really cool. I'm like, I don't even wear dresses.
That's way out of the comfort zone. Well, we appreciate the effort because it does look fantastic. And the treat for us is we're going to hear the Planet Country Song of the Week, Cinderella, Kristy James live. Take it away when you're ready.
Song of the week? Look out. You can tell me that.
Ready to go.
Okay. Remember the day that we first met? There was rain, there was thunder, just like a movie said. You took your coat off, you wrapped around me, said it's cold out here. And in the moment you had, we were ready to disappear. Oh, my silly girl, it's too good to be true. When the clock strikes midnight, you know the deal is through. So grab your glass slipper, no point leaving it behind. There ain't no happy ever after in this Cinderella life. Ain't my Prince Charming at the end of the ball. So who wanna be Cinderella after all? story like you had wrote it. Believed every damn word you said, but at the end of the movie, it was all in my head. Oh, but really, girl, it's too good to be true. When the clock strikes midnight, you know the deal is through. So grab your glass slip and no point leaving it behind. There ain't no happy ever after in this Cinderella life. You ain't my Prince Charming at the end of the ball. So who wanna be Cinderella after all the broken promises, after all the truth turned lies, after all the times we said we made it, after all and after all and after all. Grab your glass slip and no point leaving it behind. You ain't no happy ever after in this Cinderella life. You ain't my Prince Charming at the end of the ball. So who'd wanna be? Oh, who wanna be Cinderella after all? All in my head.
Absolutely fantastic, Kristy. Thank you so much. I noticed you flicked the headphones off. They didn't last long.
I didn't realise I couldn't hear.
They're not. Yeah, and it's not the best. They're not the best headphones either.
No,
so
that's okay.
We're set up for radio,
I'm
not
like,
live.
we'll know. We'll know
Took
next.
a moment. Sorry, Facebook Live.
You'll know for the next song. But then you flicked them, but they kind of stayed around your
Yeah,
neck,
I'm
and I
like,
thought,
oh my God.
is that irritating? That looks like it could be very
Yeah,
irritating.
no,
so-
it was all right. I was like, oh, lucky I don't need to look at them because I'd be choking myself.
I love
Just
that.
before Kristy went live, Tracy Twinkletoes commented on Facebook saying Kristy is awesome.
Aw,
She said Kristy is awed and then went, oops. No, ops, awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, typo there. And she wants to know what is Kristy's favourite country singer,
who's my favourite country singer?
besides yourself.
Didn't you say everyone sucks?
Yeah.
No one.
No one.
Okay, anyone in the world, who would get your one vote then?
Who would get my one vote? Well, I can kind of break it up into two, like now and back then.
Okay, yep.
So someone who's good now and someone that is once good but sucks now, basically.
Yeah, probably.
Back in the day, they were good.
No, one of my favourite country singers ever is Kenny Rogers. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's retired now from touring. So.
He's just got the smoothest voice. And vocally, I absolutely love Carrie Underwood. I think that
course.
vocally she's phenomenal.
Very powerful.
Well,
Yeah.
Tracy commented that Cinderella is a woohoo beautiful song.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, the thing is that we're in
good
for a treat because
title.
we're going to hear two more songs live tonight. We're also got MJ social media, lots of things to look forward to, and the weather up next. Let's check out Luke Combs' latest song. This is She Got the Best of Me on Planet Country. Wait, does this sound like someone else's? I think it does.
If you're just joining us on Facebook, we've been talking about how all the songs we've played so far have been sounding like someone else. So we had Chris Lane. What was the Chris Lane song?
It sounded like that was the one that sounded like no, that was female, wasn't it?
Female,
or was it
yeah.
the other way around?
female.
Hero
that was that
by
one,
Chris
yeah.
Lane, and
Yes.
then Parallel Lines by KU sounded a lot like a new artist that we discovered.
Krista Angelucci.
No, that was, she sounded like, oh yeah,
I might
she's
have- yeah.
Parallel Lines, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to investigate that because that is something we do often on the show. We'll hear a song and go, that sounds like another song.
On our other show, Big Stu's Country Universe, you actually do a whole thing about songs that have lyrics that sound different to what
Oh,
you
that's
as well.
we do the misheard lyrics. People
Yeah.
that sing
Oh, yeah.
the wrong
So
lyrics.
we love making fun of music, so if you're listening in, be sure to
because we
comment
can't
with-
play it ourselves. We
Yeah.
just make fun of others. That's the way to do it.
That's why I find it hard to songwrite sometimes, actually, because I start playing something and it's just like there's no such thing as original thought.
It just sounds like something else.
That sounds like, whatever.
And so I guess because we always think, musicians must listen to a lot of music, but maybe sometimes you've got to take yourself out of that to kind of not be influenced.
Yeah, I've been working on a new song lately, and I'm like, does that sound like anything? But I don't think it does.
Got to run the filter over it just to check.
Yeah.
Maybe play it, record a demo, play it, and then Shazam it or something. Sound out. Does it come up as anything? So there you go. Didn't we do that with someone? We Shazammed them. We got them to do it before they'd released the song or something. MJ.
So many live videos.
That's exactly right. Well, it's our 214th show, so when you get that far in, you do forget the first 200 or thereabouts.
Wow.
And it's 14 shows with an extra hour too, so you've got to add more than 214 hours. We've done
that is exactly
6 p.m. to midnight shows.
Now, what I'm going to do is give this to Kristy because we are going to get her to help us out in the next segment to do the national
Tracy's
weather.
back. She says, I get confused with Luke Bryan and Blake Shelton. They sound familiar.
That's so weird. I was thinking about this the other day. I was watching a little girl do it on the TV. I thought, geez, I'd hate to do that. Somebody ever put me in the
Now you got to do it.
on the spot.
The best part about it is you have to do it in your best Southern American accent.
Oh, no, God, really?
Gosh.
I am really bad at
Gosh darn it.
accents. No, like, that's not one of my skills. Ask Luke. He always rips me off. He said, every accent sounds Chinese, mate.
Sounds Indian or Chinese.
Well, we should have done the weather for Shanghai or somewhere. Or
yeah.
Anyway, give it your best shot. That's the key to it.
No,
So,
that's embarrassing.
that's what we do here.
As we count down, just a reminder to be sure to share the video around because we've got another live performance coming up.
Yes,
and
that's right.
comment away with your questions for Big Stu, myself, or Kristy James.
Absolutely. We're going to go into the weather. So do you want to switch that over and get ready for that?
From the studios of Alive 90.5 FM, streaming live on the Woof Australia, it's the award-winning Planet Country with Big Stu and MJ.
Now on Planet Country, it's time to check the weather around the nation.
How's the weather today? Is it sunny?
It's gonna be a long hot summer.
Is it raining?
It's raining on Sunday.
Is it cloudy?
Storming like crazy.
Is it snowy?
It's a shame about the weather.
How's the weather today?
MJ, what can listeners expect from their weather on Tuesday?
I'm going to start with Brisbane, because I always start with Brisbane. Why would I change the order? Brisbane, partly cloudy and 21. Sydney, partly cloudy and 17. Canberra, morning fog and frost with a top of 13 and just -3 overnight.
See, I thought you'd trip on that. I thought you'd say frog. Because, fog and frost, you say that quickly. I thought he was gone.
Frog and frost.
You did that very well, MJ.
Oh, thank you. Now you've put me
You
off
are
the rest
learning
of the
something
thing,
at AFTRS.
Melbourne, partly cloudy and 14. We haven't actually done anything about vocals. It's all been our panel operating.
That's right. Vocals is next term.
Yeah. I'm going to, be better. I don't know. You put me off.
I'm going to talk thing better.
Hobart. I'll do it like, how some people that come to radio school talk like, Hobart, partly cloudy and 12.
Are you making fun of fellow students?
No, the ones that didn't get in, but they turn up anyway.
Jeez. Hello.
It's a selective course. You had to put in an application, and my application was chosen.
Application. And they chose you.
I think it was my production skills that helped a
That's
lot.
right. It is fair to say you are at...
even though I do no production for Planet Country, it's all Big Stu.
You are at, what's the term? High distinction level at production. It'll all come falling apart when you get to the talky bit.
I have to talk now.
Okay, get on with the weather, please.
Hobart, partly cloudy and 12. Adelaide, partly cloudy with 15. And Perth, sunny with 21.
Perth wins the weather yet again. Now, what about Music City?
It's over to our special studio guest. I don't know why I said special.
Special? What
You'll think I am special after I say this.
What are you saying?
Our amazing studio guest,
So we'll
Kristy James, to cover the Nashville forecast.
And as we normally do, we ask our guests to do it in a Southern American accent. Now, you said this is going to be difficult. You don't do accents?
No, not at all. Like, seriously, I should have...
Finally, we get someone who's going to do it really badly. Everyone's been so good. No, that's the point.
No, this is really bad. All right.
Makes for good radio, though. That's what we like.
I don't usually feel nervous, but I feel bloody nervous doing this. I feel like an idiot. I'd probably rather howl.
That's right, the roof howl that you weren't fussed with doing either. All right, give it your best shot.
All right. Okay, Nashville will be partly cloudy with 33.
That's pretty good.
Which is 91 degrees Fahrenheit for the locals.
That is
I think that was pretty good.
It's probably not so southern. It sounded a bit, I don't know, Californian or something. I don't know.
I spent some time in LA.
Sounded all right. It sounded very good.
Please don't ever play that back. I don't want to hear
The
that.
thing is, there are...
When you say don't do it, we do it.
That's the highlight reel right there. There are plenty of Australians who are locals at the moment in Nashville, and I think last night you did your live Facebook post yourself. Did you mention you're heading back there, or the plans going back there?
Yeah, we are heading back there, not Bali.
That's right, I got that wrong. So is that, do you songwrite when you go there?
Well, it'll be too late. I'm recording an album.
Okay. Well, you can turn up and think what to...
Yeah, I think I might. I've got one song out of the album's worth so far, so yeah.
Tracy just said that is a great accent. Love it.
There you go.
You fit right in when you're back in LA.
You need to go like my page, Tracy, because we could be friends. You're really nice to me.
Just search Kristy James, not Kirsty, Kristy with a K,
James
Kristy James Music, and give it
sign
a
up to the mailing list because you were talking about that, the newsletter, and get all the updated
and I
info.
mentioned that I was on here.
You did.
tonight.
Thank you so much for plugging that.
Yeah.
So when when you've gone to Nashville, have you ever done the kind of coast songwriting thing? How do you approach coast songwriting?
Yeah. I have actually. I ended up writing with mainly Aussies. I wrote with Miss Katrina Burgoyne over there.
I know Katrina. She's great.
It is. She's great.
I have to invite her to watch the video. What time is it in America? Josh Dirkson's watching, but he usually watches at 5 a.m.
Like you, he's up all night, I found.
It's Sundays through the night. It'd be like, we're 17.
It's too hard to think of.
17 hours in front.
That's
Oh,
right.
no. I don't know what Nashville is. That's LA. Yeah.
4:16 a.m. We've had confirmation from Luke.
Don't send an invite because they'll wake up and go, MJ, what are you doing? It's late.
But see, I've got this theory because Nashville's Music City. They're up all night. It's the music industry. Everyone must just sleep of a day. There'd be nobody out and about.
Yeah, I reckon you might be right. Yeah, no, I go there. There's a lot of different. No, there's not a lot. There's a few different kind of groups that you can organise co-writes through. It's a, as you spend more time in the industry, you get to know more people. It's easier to set up co-writes. But when I go over there, I'm going over there with actually Paul Bain, the drummer from Georgia 4, and Luke, my husband. And we're going
Does
to
Luke know about it?
LA.
He'll tag
I've
along.
been paying for it, so I don't think he does know. No, we're going to LA for the first week just for fun and to eat. And then I'll spend the time in Nashville and I'll record over there. And then we'll finish up with a few days in Vegas. And I don't drink or gamble either, but I freaking
what are
love
you going
Vegas.
there for?
I love
There's
Vegas.
nothing else to do.
We just walk the strip, don't we, Luke?
There's people
walk the
watching, isn't there? There's
Love
lots
it.
to look at. Lots of bright lights.
And great food and just the environment.
Cheap food in
It's
Vegas.
really fun.
You know.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Dollar shrimp cocktail. I remember that for some reason when I was there.
Cocktail.
Shrimp cocktail. Now,
$1.
yeah, well, this
probably
was years
that's
ago. Okay,
okay.
it's probably $5.50 now. I don't know. Anyway, one of the things about songwriting I was going to talk about was Dark Sunglasses because one of my favourite songs, absolutely amazing. Another great video, of course. And I remember making notes about it because we make notes about songs that we hear. And I wrote, right song with the right sound for right now. I just made this note, just doodling. It's a powerful song. It showcases your vocals, but the production value blew me away. And your husband is in the corner here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, he produced this or you worked together at home.
You. We did.
He did nothing. Turned the dials. So tell us about that experience of actually doing that at home, setting up the studio and going, we're gonna do this ourselves.
He's here, so he can tell you.
Shaking his head.
Yeah, please join in, Luke. How was it, darling?
Well, we're still married.
Just.
I'm not divorced.
Just. No, it was
Still married but not divorced.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for us was I work quite differently to going into that environment. I wasn't his wife, and I had my job to do, and I needed to do that, and he really struggled with that. I'm like, why are you being mean? Not being mean, just press record, will you? Freaking hell, I need you to just press record. You know, like it's just I'm very fast. I work very fast, and if I have those ideas, he needs to keep up. And mind you, I was like the first one he'd ever done because he spent 2 years trying to convince me. I'm like, where are you going to record me, fool? He's like, I'm just going to put you in the cupboard.
Now, I wanted to ask about this because I saw that you, on I think one of your blogs, you said something about my husband was going to put me in the cupboard to record me. So
that's what he had, and I'm like, I thought, no, until you can come up with somewhere better than our linen closet, I'm not recording at home.
So, like most people that want to start their own radio station, did you start eating lots of eggs to get the egg cartons for the soundproofing? Is that how it works?
Luke's actually he has a lot of skill in knowing the correct stuff to get. So we were very lucky. Link Audio helped me out with a lot of the sound stuff. So we got like a soundproof booth, so we didn't need anything. We're in the middle of changing our studio actually, so that it's in a better part of the house and we can record more people, because now Luke's got my successful EP to say, look
That's
what
right.
I did.
Look what I did.
Kids, mum and dad need your bedroom for soundproofing.
Very close.
What's the conversely? You talked about, he had to keep up and you're sort of directing him.
Yeah.
Was there also the case though that your husband had to say, actually, that's not good enough, I want you to redo it, or he's the producer in a way, he's kind of telling you what to do? Or?
Yeah, we both produced. There were a couple of times, like, he was probably pretty careful because he knows vocally that, I've done that my whole life. So where he would usually say to somebody, yeah, that's not. He's probably going to think twice about asking me. So he didn't tell me. He was like, he would ask me.
Right.
Do you think that's, the best? Like,
it's all in the diplomacy.
Yeah, well, like...
Yeah, that was good, babe, but do you think...
Yeah. Like, I wrote a
scene.
song and played a new song for him today. And I'm like, well, do you like it? He's like, yeah, it's great. He's like, now you have to write a hit. Are you serious? So that's his kind of way of telling me.
We've been getting quite a few comments coming, a lot of questions that we're going to get to real soon when music goes to air on radio. But one question I think relates to right now, James from Goulburn has asked, what artists would you love to collaborate with? So what artists would you guys like to bring into the linen closet or the kids' bedroom? And
need to move out of the closet, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
Australian or?
Anything, I guess.
Well, let's start with Australian.
Let's be realistic.
No, I'm just saying, no, I'm not meaning...
Artist that I'd like to collaborate with.
Any genre. Who do you think, hey, we could do something?
I was so close to collaborating with somebody I really wanted to, but by the time he messaged me, I was back from Nashville. I was devastated. You may know him as Jack Jones, but
yes.
But I know, well, he's got his other name, which is Owen Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to collaborate with him. And
so sometimes it's just a timing thing, see, that's why things don't fall into place. What about the biggest name, doesn't matter who they are, would it be Carrie or would it be someone completely different to...
I'm not sure, like, no, probably not Carrie. She's a skillful vocalist, but what could we collaborate? Like, do you mean write together or perform?
I think he's probably talking,
James, let us know what you mean. Please explain.
He's probably talking about a song,
I'm
like as
too
in a
much
duet
into
or something.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, I would love to. Oh, sugar, sorry, man.
That's the slippery mic has moved again.
See, a lot of people that I would love to collaborate may not necessarily be in the country genre because I've covered a lot. So, like, I would love to do something here with, either John Farnham,
The Voice.
Yeah, but over there.
There's too much to choose from.
Yeah, you know what? Sadly, not sadly, but I'd love to do something with Keith. I know everyone probably says that, but I just feel musically, he's really, really switched on.
It's like, you don't want to be cliche, but he's kind of like one of the number one artists in America, like in country.
Not because of that. That's not why.
Because he's Australian.
But it's also because
he's
he's always exploring and pushing and reinventing and
yes.
you know.
He's doing a lot for the genre. Same as Shania Twain did a lot for the genre. And Carrie Underwood and now you're hearing a lot of country on mainstream radio, and that really excites me because I think in the next 5 years, I actually think that country may be almost right.
Well, I was saying to Stu off air that it's like every decade has a the pop kind of follows what another genre is doing, and then and the other genres kind of it's like in the 80s it was classic rock was big. Well, it wasn't classic rock back then, and then
now it's classic.
90s you need a bit of grunge, early 2000s you had to kind of rock and move to hip hop. Well, I think country, we're a year and a half away from the 2020s. I think country will be the
I
decade.
think you're right, and I think that. Because my style that I write quite a lot would have really fit in the 90s well with like Alanis Morissette, Sheryl Crow, Melissa Etheridge even. And I just feel like sometimes I feel like in the industry that I've missed my boat songwriting-wise, but just as of late, I feel like, with all this stuff going on mainstream, like Morgan and Sam Hunt, Florida Georgia Line, I feel like, there may actually be a chance.
Well, James is the number one Florida Georgia Line fan in Australia. He runs Florida
That's
Georgia
right.
Line Australia. Maybe he can hook you up with contacts for FGL if you want to write with them.
That'd be
Get on
fun.
mainstream radio.
Well,
He did clarify he wanted to know who you would like to perform with, but I
Who
think
I'd like to perform with. In
Keith
Australia.
and,
is,
Keith and
All right, well, what unfortunately, what a moment this would have been to have said, and actually, guess who's standing by in the green room? No,
I'd be pretty shocked if you did that to me.
there's nobody there. What we're going to hear is you play.
Tracy did ask
yourself.
a question for us. Who would
Oh,
we
yes.
like to have in the studio? I think you've just answered that, Keith. Definitely.
Of course, Keith. Everyone wants to interview Keith, but he's too big for us these days.
We almost had him at Denny Utemaster, but then they said,
got
no, he's
shoved out of the way.
fly in, fly
Don't
out artist.
Talk to me about Denny. That was
Well,
the
Tracy
worst.
has also asked. Tracy said that you should play the Denny Utemaster. Would you like to play the Denny Utemaster one day?
Of course, I'd like to play anywhere that'll have me. Absolutely.
Maybe Tracy can have one of those backyard shows. And then there you go, done.
That's right. We are going to hear Dark Sunglasses, if we may. Now, you want to rip those off and not have them stuck around your neck.
Hang on, you don't have your sunglasses on. Do we need them?
That's all good.
Okay, that's good.
We're going to hear this fantastic song right now. This is live on Planet Country, live on Facebook, and live on Swar 999 and the Wolf Australia, and of course relayed. Is that the right word? Syndicated to Hawkesbury Gold. Take it away when you're ready.
Goodness, I hope I don't mess it up all that. Those stages.
No pressure.
Tires roll into the drive at 10 past midnight. The smell of cheap perfume drops his clothes on the floor in the bedroom. He didn't bother to hide, coming home late every night, so she didn't bother to think. When she slipped something in his late night drink, dark sunglasses, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, as she lay rolls on the grave as a Lord knew that it was over. She'll never have another, never gonna be no other. Ooh, lover. She caught a glimpse of a woman she don't know, a pretty little thing in the back row. When asked did she know that man, she just smiled as she said, why yes, and she didn't bother to hide. She knew that woman was his wife, so she didn't bother to think. But she slipped something in the pretty little thing, straight dark sunglasses, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. She lay rolls on the grave as the Lord knew that it was over. She'll never have another, never gonna be no other. Ooh, lover. Dark sunglasses, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. She lay rolls on the grave as the Lord knew that it was over. She'll never have another, never gonna be no other man's lover. So the lawman came that night. She said, man, what you did, it ain't right. Well, I don't care what you think. Maybe you should have a dark sunglasses, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. She lay rolls on the grave as the Lord knew that it was over. She'll never have another, never gonna be no other. Ooh, lover.
Absolutely amazing. Thanks, Kristy, for blowing our minds with that version of Dark Sunglasses. We'll hear another song shortly. We also have MJ's social media news up next, but let's check out Husky Heartthrob Hunter Hayes, as we call him. This is This Girl on Planet Country.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Hunter Hayes.
Second track is on.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
Pleasure.
Now, something we're going to come back to. Someone asked.
Questions.
Yes.
First of all, Tracy just said it's awesome. Thank you, Tracy. I've got to put my headphones on so I can hear myself. Joe Norton has joined us to say that he'll be the roadie for the show at Tracy's house. Tracy said you can come play at my party at my house
He
anytime.
has a T-shirt that says roadie, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I'd say we need a studio roadie for us.
Yeah, actually, that's what we do.
See how many cables I've got here? I've got
Someone
spare
that
batteries.
doesn't bump the buttons like I obviously
Brings
do.
the right tripod.
The right tripod. I'm not having a good day, am I?
We had a bad day. We had Cindy Vogel's joining before, who of course made the dress
Ah,
for
of
the
course.
music video in Cinderella.
Yeah, did
We
she-
shared a house with her, Tamara.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. All she does is sew. All the time she's there sewing and doing stuff. She never
Well,
stops.
we got to see a few Toyota Star Maker outfits before they actually went to
You know
Star
what we
Maker.
did get to see? We got to see the stress surrounding the dress. You know,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
it's quite cool. We're sitting there doing stuff, you know, preparing for interviews or whatever with artists, and these young hopefuls would come in and they'd try the dress on, and they were so. It was like they were wound tight with
See, that's
stress.
not me. She's
was
like,
amazing.
oh, it's not fitting. Well, that's okay. Put a pin in it.
I said to her,
Put me right.
I can't remember which artist it was. They left, and I said, how do you deal? And she said, oh, that's nothing. They are cool. They're just, you know, stressed out. It's, you know, the real sort of, not necessarily artists, but the diva people that she's dealt with, models and
See,
whatnot
I
over
don't
the years.
even get to stress about anything like that. I just don't.
I remember
care.
talking to you on the red carpet
Oh,
at
yeah.
CMC a couple of years ago, and, you know, we was talking to everyone saying, oh, you know, you got all dressed up, and you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm just here.
I made the red carpet, Mum.
What do you call someone from Newcastle? Like, you know,
Nova
Sydney,
Castro.
Nova Castro. Okay, well,
Yeah.
fellow Nova Castrian Chelsea Berman just joined us in
Ah,
the video
yeah.
as well. So, hey, Chelsea.
Happy birthday for, didn't she turn 20 a couple of weeks ago? Am I thinking?
Happy birthday.
I'm sure she did. Anyway, happy birthday.
She did. She played at my launch shows.
Ah,
Yeah.
excellent.
Very talented.
Very talented.
I meant to mention this before, I didn't get a chance, but James reacted when, I think, during the weather when you were trying to put me off with a whole bunch of emoji that made me feel bad.
MJ, can I just do some housekeeping with you? You need to, it's after 16, and we need to go through this reasonably tight for time.
The Nosey thing.
The Nosey
About to
thing.
talk about Nosey.
Get
you
ready,
guys have been
people.
waiting patiently. Be sure to invite all your friends to listen in because mainstream media doesn't get Nosey the way we get Nosey, you know?
What's
I
there to
don't
get?
know, Nolly.
What's there to get?
I just want people to listen in.
Yeah. There's
I
only
bet-
some of it we could play because I couldn't, there's certain things I just couldn't censor.
Can you give me how long I've got?
30 seconds.
Oh, what?
Big Stu and MJ. Stu and MJ.
Now on Planet Country, what's trending on social media? Hashtag lame theme.
I'm sitting in the movies and I'm looking at my phone. I need to check my Facebook while the ads are shown. Looking at my phone. Looking at my phone.
Now here's the only host on this show with a clue about social media. MJ.
That's me.
You're
I'm
back.
MJ. And the clue is, once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, it's Planet Country Radio. And if you want to follow us on Twitter and Snapchat, it's PC Radio Show. I recommend Instagram. That's my favourite.
And we've not been doing Snapchat because the phone's tied up. So
Yeah, because we're doing like an hour-long video with our live studio guests.
that's right. People are responding.
I mean, Instagram's kind of taken over Snapchat these days.
That's a
I
big
just
call.
remembered something. I actually gave advice to
Yeah.
Kristy years ago about
and
Snapchat.
and you know what? I've been sticking to Instagram, so
That's good though. That's now the thing.
Well,
'cause
that's,
I know.
he changed
the
his
advice
advice.
is pretty much the same for both. I mean, Instagram ripped off
I've noticed
Snapchat.
I do heaps of stories now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I
I
contributed.
remember because a lot of artists come in.
I totally
never
forgot, and I just
there's-
remembered.
There's two I'll never forget. One was Matt Cornell, and the other one was Drew McAllister. It was
So
just
Matt
hilarious.
Cornell's asking me for advice after a show. We interviewed him. He's like, "Oh, I've only got a personal one just to chat with the guys." But he's like, "So how can I use this, to be, for the music side of it?" And I gave him a bit of coaching.
That's
And
the business.
remember, Drew McAllister had no idea how it works.
Drew.
But he was just fascinated that we had a meme go viral and get 2 million views. He was like, "That's amazing." And I'm like,
well, actually, it's not that great in the world scheme of things, but
anyway,
anyway,
we'll take what
yeah.
we can get. Yeah. So I've given
You have
Kristy
coached many.
Snapchat advice. I totally forgot.
Yeah, I had to ask my 12-year-old student at the time how to work it. I'm like, what is this? And I stuck with it for a little while, but I'm like, it's not for me.
Instagram's kind
I'm
of
too
taken over
old.
these days. Snapchat's really just for teens.
Yeah, I love Instagram. I do all these really cool stories. You should see. Like last night, I had my ribs on there.
Ah.
Not my ribs, like my ribs.
I heard about this. You ate ribs and pizza or something.
Yeah. The
Thanks for
picture's
sharing.
on there. Yeah.
I mean, thanks for sharing on social media, but also thanks for sharing it. With
I'm
us.
hungry now. Because last week we tried to get a pizza. That was useless.
they
They
didn't
didn't
turn
turn up. MJ,
They
now,
didn't answer the door.
I think that's probably what happened. They just drove off. What, do you reckon they eat it themselves?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Probably got hungry in the car.
Now, MJ, we need to cover this because people have been asking on our live social media, they've been questioning about this. Shannon Knoll has been making social media waves this week.
Nolsey, yes. Nolsey was playing a gig at the other night when a fan threw a full can of beer. What a waste. What a waste. A full can of beer at him. Actually, at Nolsey himself. Now it missed, thankfully, but Shannon was not impressed and spent the next 5 minutes abusing the guy through the microphone. We've had to censor this, and we can't play it all, but this is a little taste of what Nolsey had to say.
Hey, who's that? Get up here, man. Yeah, you whoever threw that, come up here. Come on, have the balls to come up here and I'll meet you over there. I mean, yeah, go on then. Get in the tie. Look around, everyone look around. Yeah, have some fucking balls who come up here instead of throwing some from there. Come on. Hey, who says he should come up? Get round and shame that motherfucker right there.
You know when artists do a long, drawn-out intro to a song they've written before, usually an anthem or something?
They usually have a story.
That sounded like it suited the on stage.
Nolsey went on to say some not very nice things about the guy's wife and mother, which we couldn't actually... I tried to censor it. It couldn't be censored properly with our patented boing sound effect.
How does that go again?
Boing. That's the one. No, you've got to do that sound and I do the boing at the same time. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Boing. No, you're too fast. Anyway, forget it.
He used that one for Podunk by...
that's right.
What's his name? Kid Rock. That one, I can't believe we even... We're probably the only people that ever put that to radio. Censored, of course.
That's right. Now, Nolsey has since issued an apology for his behaviour. He posted on social, "I would like to apologise for my behaviour and language at Saturday night's Duck Creek picnic races." And so
Duck
he should.
Creek picnic races sounds like a lot more peaceful event, though.
Well, does than what actually transpired. But the idiot in the crowd, and he shouldn't have thrown the can at the stage. That was dumb. However, I think I know what set the fan off. I know why he got angry with Nolsey.
What do you mean? What did Nolsey do to get a fan so upset?
You might have picked up on it. The background music his band was starting to play when the whole incident took place. Nolsey was about to play this.
That's the way it should be.
If the fan had spent any time at the Tamworth Country Music Festival in the past, he probably just blew a fuse after hearing the start of Horses yet again.
Probably for the 1 billionth time that year. I mean, I'm on behalf of all the young people that made it popular again.
Does anyone know?
I'm actually happy with it. I like Horses.
Was Damien Bagley in the crowd at Knowles? Because he hates horses.
He's far as way can be.
No,
he's in
Canada.
LA.
He's in Canada at the moment for the. What's it called? The Calgary Stampede. So it wasn't Damien. But I do think horses had something to do with it.
Were the horses doing stampedes?
Now, I'm a little concerned, actually, because we asked Kristy to play 3 songs for us, and we said she could decide on the 3rd song. I just want to... It's not horses, is it?
We will fly.
I've got a can. Look
You know what?
He's got a styrofoam coffee cup.
Knowles, he probably wants to throw a beer can at himself for singing it. I guarantee he doesn't want to sing it because I know how often we get asked.
It didn't sound like it, actually. The full audio of that, I thought he doesn't want to be there doing.
There are 4 songs you'll get asked to sing as a country singer: Horses, Country Girl,
Wagon Wheel,
and the Keith one.
Yeah, was it? What's the Keith one now?
Love Somebody.
Yeah, Love Somebody. Yeah. If you don't play them, you've never been to Tamworth.
That's exactly right. We are running out of time, so we need to get this song. Tell us about what you're going to play, because it's a mystery to us. It can't be horses. It's got to be something you wrote.
No, I tell people I don't know it, which is a lie.
Cat's out of the bag.
2 lies and a truth.
There it is.
Okay, I'm going to play one from the new EP. It's a song that I wrote with Matt Scullion. And I had some ideas lyrically and with a melody, but we kind of come up with this idea where we would try to write a song with the same 4 chords, because I have terrible memory and I don't know what I'm playing half the time. So I'm like,
make it simple, please.
Yeah, if we can just use the same chords and then just change the melody around.
Never heard AC/DC's career. Well, that were 3 chords, but anyway.
So yeah, that's kind of this was more written musically than what it was for, like lyrically. But I had some ideas lyrically anyway. So it ended up coming out really, really good. Like when we produced it, It's one of Luke's. It's probably Luke's favourite one that we've done. Not that guy. He's opinionated. No, I'm kidding.
He's only the producer husband. All right, take it away live on Planet Country.
See, I was trying to do that music thing where you talk, the intro. Baby, what happened to us? Where did I lose you? Was it too fast, too much? Or did it scare you? Was it something I did or didn't do? Was it something I said or didn't say? 'Cause baby, if you remember yesterday, I was everything you wanted. Last night I was everything you needed. You held me like you weren't letting go. Room lit up with a fiery glow. Today your eyes are cold. How did I go from everything to nothing? Everything to nothing. So nothing is what I see in your cold stare. It feels like you don't want me. It's like you don't care. How can you just turn it on and off? Easy as the light switch on the wall. It's only a kiss to go use for. That I was everything you wanted. Last night I was everything you needed. You held me like you weren't letting go. Room lit up with a fiery glow. Today your eyes are cold. How did I go from everything to nothing? Everything to nothing. Baby, I don't know what to say or do, 'cause I was pretty damn sure that I had you with the way you talk. Yeah, it felt so right. What happened when we said goodnight? I was everything you wanted. Last night I was everything you needed. Oh, I was everything you wanted. Last night I was everything you needed. No, you held me like you weren't letting go. Ruled it out with a fiery glow. Today your eyes are cold. How did I go from everything to nothing? Everything to nothing. Everything to nothing, baby. Oh, it's everything and everything you needed. Oh, everything to nothing, nothing. Oh, it's everything and everything to nothing.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that. The EP is called Raw, and people can get it from your website. I assume they can
Yeah.
buy it. You'll send it out.
Yeah, my
And
website, Social Family Records website, JB Hi-Fi, Sanity.
all good record stores, as they say.
Yeah, they're going, aren't they? And
While they're there,
that's
grab
where
one.
my CD is going. And at every digital platform, of course.
Absolutely. And you've got some tour dates. Are you booking some stuff up for later in the year to get around and play some more?
Yeah, my next date that I have my full band is the 12th of August, which is at the Catho Pub, which is
Mhm.
between here and Newcastle.
Yeah, nice drive either way.
Yeah, and then I've got some dates that I'm booking in at the moment before I head.
Kerry on
away.
Facebook wants to know when you're heading back to Nashville. We've already discussed it, I think, a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't say
I'll be
when,
there-
so...
I'll be there 4th of November. So
okay.
I'm heading to LA on the 29th of October.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, what we're going to do is let Kristy put the guitar down and have a rest, and while we do that, we've got this.
You may have missed it Monday.
It is You May Have Missed It Monday. Did I just do what I once went crooked you doing?
What,
You're an
talking
actress
too soon?
talked over the top of the thing, so I thought it had finished. So
You
what
may
do
have
I
missed
know?
a Monday, Big Stew.
That's
it's our
exactly
segment
right.
where we revisit
Well, we
throwback
do
track. kind of.
Throwback track, and what I thought we'd do tonight is actually do a throwback track of Kristy's. It's not all the way back. It's not. See, this is what artists do. They go, not that song. I hate that song now, even though I've had to play that a thousand
once
times.
an artist told me that it was like her first ever recordings, and I'm like, oh, we played it as like a throwback, and this was a couple of years ago. And she's like, oh, I've deleted that. I don't want to hear that ever again.
They
You
don't
probably
even-
got the only copy of it left.
They don't even have a digital copy of this.
It's a good song, though.
They hated it. What I thought we'd play, it's not that old, but I thought we'd play Push because a fantastic song. Any story behind the song, writing that song?
You're right. It's not that old. It's on the new EP.
Well, there you go. No, but it was released a while ago as a single. So.
Actually, that is one of the only songs that I have recorded that I didn't write.
Ah.
Yeah, so that was a business decision.
Well, it was a pretty good decision.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked the song. It was sent to me, and it really sat with what I did, and I like the story behind it. Even though it's kind of about love, it's like it's the story of sometimes you just got to push. Sometimes it's just just have a go. So I recorded that one. It's the only one also on the EP that Luke and I didn't record. I recorded that in Queensland, which I forgot to say. I'll be at Groundwater Country Music Festival
Groundwater.
as well.
Yeah, coming up in July, the end of this month. Yeah.
Yeah, main stage, which I'm really
Fantastic.
excited about. So yeah. Anyway, that's Push for you.
All right, let's have a listen to it right now on Planet Country.
Hey, this is Kristy James, and you're listening to Planet Country with Big Stew and MJ.
Stuck in a rut, yeah. So sick and tired of the same old.
Alright, we're on the little mic.
Can you talk then? Because I'm going to do this.
What are you doing?
Deleting all this other stuff.
I can talk. I'm pretty good at that.
Talk away.
I want to do radio one day,
Well, you come to the right
like
place.
rather than sing.
Rather than sing. We'd love to have a studio in Newcastle, but I think the last radio frequency sold for 14 million, so we gotta get that first sorted out. Got a few artists line up saying, I want to do radio. Try to take me out of a job.
No.
No, it's good if artists want to do radio, then they're good behind a mic when we have them in the studio. But it's fun, which is like, we've had a few where it's like...
I always do wonder how artists go.
Most are pretty good. We tend to get artists that have got a single out there, at least one original, and they've established themselves, and that's usually gets them the right push to then come out and push to be able to talk behind a microphone. But every so often we get a few that just a bit nervous. But that's our goal, is to by the end of the interview or the show to get them nice and relaxed and understand. This is breakfast radio at 8 o'clock at night. Do we have anything else coming up for Facebook, Big Stew?
No, we can say goodbye on Facebook. I was just trying to sort this out.
Alright. Laters, Facebook.
Laters. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. The show does continue on SWAT 999 Sydney's West. If you're in Western Sydney, tune into 99.9 FM. If you're elsewhere, you can stream it live on the Wolf Australia. We're going right through to 8 o'clock. And you can catch us here once again, 6 p.m. every Monday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Now the awkward thing where I've got to stand up and get to the phone. Thanks for watching, people. Say goodbye. Bye.